Benjamin Constant. Born Jean-Joseph Benjamin Constant on June 10, 1845, in Paris, France, was a prolific French painter and an influential figure in the world of Orientalism. His artistic career spanned a wide range of subjects, from historical painting and portraiture to depictions of the exotic East, which became his signature. Constant's mastery of colour, his atmospheric compositions, and his dramatic sense of grandeur made him one of the most celebrated painters of his time. He also contributed to the teaching of art and left an indelible mark on the academic art world. Benjamin Constant's upbringing provided fertile ground for his artistic inclinations. His family relocated to Toulouse when he was a child, and it was there that his early interest in art flourished. He received initial artistic training at the École de Beaux-Arts in Toulouse, where his talent became evident. At the age of 17, in 1863, he returned to Paris, determined to further his education in the arts. He enrolled at the prestigious École des Beaux-Arts, where he studied under the tutelage of Alexandre Cabanel, one of the leading academic painters of the day. Cabanel's influence on Constant was profound, especially in matters of technique and approach to large-scale historical compositions. The rigorous academic training Constant received shaped his attention to detail and his commitment to the traditional artistic values of form and beauty. Constant's early career was interrupted by the Franco-Prussian War, 1870 to 1871, during which he served in the National Guard. The war had a profound impact on his generation of artists, and though Constant's work would later be defined by opulent and exotic themes, this early experience with conflict and instability left its mark. After the war, Constant traveled to Spain, where the vibrant culture and rich history of the country inspired him deeply. This journey exposed him to Spanish masters like Diego Velázquez and Francisco de Zurbarán, whose dramatic use of light and dark influenced Constant's own palette. His experience in Spain would also be the beginning of his lifelong fascination with the foreign and the exotic, ultimately leading to his association with Orientalism. In 1872, Constant took a life-changing trip to Morocco, which fueled his fascination with the cultures of North Africa and the Middle East. He visited cities such as Tangier and Tetuan, absorbing the vibrant colors, architecture, and everyday life of these regions. This journey became a wellspring of inspiration for his later work and firmly placed him within the Orientalist movement, a style of painting popular in the 19th century that romanticized and exoticized the East. Orientalism, while controversial for its stereotypical and often fantasized depiction of non-European cultures, was a significant artistic trend in Europe at the time. Constant, like many of his contemporaries, was drawn to the visual allure and perceived mystery of the Orient. However, unlike many Orientalist painters who focused on romanticized depictions of harems and sensual scenes, Constant's paintings often portrayed scenes of regal splendor, historical events, and architectural grandeur. Among his most famous works are the Entry of Mahomet II into Constantinople, 1876, and Justice of the Vizier, 1877, which demonstrate his fascination with the grandeur and exoticism of Islamic culture. These large-scale compositions are noted for their dramatic use of light and color, as well as the meticulous attention to detail in costumes, settings, and gestures. Constant's Orientalist works quickly gained acclaim, and he became a frequent exhibitor at the Paris Salon. His dramatic depictions of the East resonated with European audiences, who were captivated by his vivid portrayals of foreign lands and distant histories. He was awarded medals at the Salons in 1875 and 1876 for his impressive canvases, and his reputation as one of the leading Orientalist painters grew rapidly. Constant's success in the Salon solidified his standing in the French art world, and he began receiving commissions from wealthy patrons and institutions. His large, theatrical compositions were in high demand, and his work was purchased by major museums, including the Luxembourg Museum in Paris. In addition to his Orientalist subjects, Constant also painted portraits of high society figures, including royalty and political leaders. His portraiture, while less flamboyant than his Orientalist works, was noted for its sophistication and psychological depth. He painted portraits of luminaries such as Queen Alexandra of England and Pope Leo XIII, further cementing his status as a master of the genre. As his career progressed, Constant became increasingly involved in teaching. In 1889, he was appointed as a professor at the Académie Julian, one of the most influential private art schools in Paris. He taught a new generation of artists, many of whom went on to achieve significant success. Constant's teaching emphasized the importance of color and atmosphere in painting, and he encouraged his students to develop their own artistic voices while grounding themselves in the technical rigor of academic painting. Constant was also a regular jury member for the annual Paris Salon exhibitions, playing a key role in shaping the art world of his time. His influence extended beyond France, as he exhibited in international exhibitions in Europe and the United States. In his later years, Constant continued to produce both Orientalist works and portraits, though his output slowed somewhat. He received numerous honors and accolades for his contributions to art, including being made a Commander of the Legion of Honor in 1896, one of the highest distinctions in France. By the time of his death in 1902, Benjamin Constant had achieved considerable fame and fortune. His work, particularly his Orientalist paintings, had left a lasting mark on 19th century French art, and his portraits of notable figures secured his reputation as one of the premier portraitists of his time. While his work fell out of favor in the 20th century, as Orientalism itself became a subject of critique, Constant's technical skill and his ability to capture the opulence and drama of his chosen subjects have ensured his place in the annals of art history. His paintings, especially those depicting scenes from the Islamic world, remain valuable for their aesthetic beauty and their reflection of the European fascination with the East during his era. Today, Benjamin Constant's work can be found in major museums and collections around the world, and he is remembered not only as a painter of the exotic, but also as a significant figure in the broader context of 19th century French art. His legacy continues to be explored and re-evaluated by scholars and art lovers alike, ensuring his place as a central figure in the story of Orientalism and academic painting.